Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this episode of G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. That's a fire. Yeah, actually, that's two fires. One of them started off on the left, which is pretty much under control right now, and then the other one is unrelated, another fire over there. And I understand that's in the Mojave River bed. And there are houses and people over there that are in danger and trying to save their properties and doing their things, but so sad. And I saw that breakout earlier this morning, and it's still going, but the smoke is turning white now. That's usually a good sign. That means they're getting a handle on it. But I still see some black smoke on the lead side of it, and a big mushroom cloud up in the sky, and the smoke is running all the way across over that way. Yeah, I'm in no danger here of that, but still, that's headed towards a pretty populated town there. So I hope they get it taken care of, under control, and extinguished. I know they got air support over there. I just watched a YouTube video on it. Anybody can find that on the internet. But I think that town is called Oro Grande. And yep, not nice. We don't like fires out in the desert like this because they can travel pretty quickly. Luckily today there's no wind. Yesterday I hunkered down. There was no video because at normal videoing time the wind gusts were 43 miles per hour, sustained at 32 to 33, and gusting to 43 miles per hour. And boy, I'll tell you what, it was really howling out here. That's some really nasty winds. But my greenhouse survived. Didn't seem to bother it because the winds came from their normal direction, and this new structure seems to break the wind up enough so that it doesn't pound my greenhouse. Okay, so what have I been doing today? Well, it's like spring fever. I was trying to get things done in here. Anyway, what I did was I got my new cherry tree here into a pot, and the mulching on the top of that is actually the packaging that comes in the package itself. But the soil is a good mixture of compost garden soil and natural local soil, a 50-50 mix. So we'll see how that goes. I also got my my brush out, and I cross-pollinated some of these flowers. Let's see if that helps any with setting some fruit on this tree. And then I got out my my grafting wax here and my homemade bark knife here for separating the bark when grafting. But I just use that one. That's aluminum one. I use that one for spreading this wax. I have a brass one in my kit down there that I actually use for separating the bark off the branch or the trunk when I'm doing grafting. So what I did was I got the grafting wax out, and all the little bud grafts and that stuff that were drying and exposing a little bit of an opening where water and disease could get in. I grafted the wax around them like that. So that's a bud graft right there. And I put the wax around them to seal them so that when the water is being sprayed on these things, it won't go in there. I've been watering these by hand with a watering bucket, but now that I've got to move a little faster out here on the hot days, I'll be watering these with the garden hose, and water could splash into those grafts and cause a problem. So sealing the grafts like that is a good idea. I'll probably also seal that graft down there. That's wrapped with paraffin tape, but that's not fully waterproof. So what I'll do is I'll put some of that grafting wax around the top and the sides so that if water hits it, it won't seep down behind it and cause a problem with my graft. That's a good way for a graft to fail. Now this graft over here, there's a little bud popping up out of the graft tape right there on the upper section, not on the lower section. And I noticed on, you can't see it from here, but on the other side, oh, there it is. There's also a little bud popping out right there. So I think there was another one. Yeah, there's another one right there, another little bud popping out. So it looks like that graft took. And this was an attempted graft I did inside. It was too early on this tree to do a graft, and it didn't take. So I took it out and I put grafting wax over the opening to seal it so that disease and moisture won't get in there. But yeah, I've got some fresh sprouting going on this thing, so we'll see how that goes. Then the grapevine that I had growing in my kitchen window, still in the original sack that it came in. That's it right there, and it's now transplanted into soil here. And I put this post here so that if we get a threat of extremely cold weather coming up, right now they're saying it's going to be in the 70s for at least the next 10 days. The other person said, well, since spring is in the air, it doesn't look like we're going to see any more rain, except a possibility this Friday of some rain, or by the weekend. They don't know. It's a guess. You know, to look out the window and say, oh, a cloud, maybe it'll rain. So anyway, what I did was I set this up like this, so that if necessary, I'll take a plastic garbage bag, slide it over the top of this post, punch a hole through it, slide it down, and I'll anchor it down with some weights so that winds won't blow it away, and I'll tie it around the top here and protect that if the temperatures drop. This is the raspberry that I had growing in my kitchen window, still in the original bag it came in, and I got that transplanted out here. I didn't put it in this one because this one is got a cutoff from that pear tree that I stuck in the ground here, and it's growing. It looks like it's going to set root. And my neighbor up the road wanted to have a pear tree, so I told him that if this thing sets really good root, I'll pull it out, pot it, and he can take it up and plant it at his place. So, got my my raspberry in here, and I got my grapevine in there, and that was a little bit of work, but it's done. Then I came over here and I sealed with my grafting wax. I sealed all of the scars and pruning cuts and all of that stuff on this tree. That's a bud graft from the Bosc pear, and this is a graft from the Bosc pear, and I got them all sealed. This is a graft from the ambrosia apple, and I sealed that one too. So, like I said, I'll be spraying water out of the garden hose, and on the really super hot days after the sun sets, I like to spray all the leaves too and give the tree some cool down moisture to suck it in through the leaves, because they do that. All right, now my kefir pear over here has got a sprout showing right up here, and it looks like it's got 5, maybe 6 flower buds popping out of the top of it there. And then down there, that one has got something, and it's got a little bud there and a bud there, and then that branch down there is all budding. So I sealed this one up too with grafting wax wherever it had injuries. This is the cherry tree graft that I took off that cherry tree that I just planted, and I had grafted it in here, I had a bag over it. I took the bag off and I pruned the the scion back a little bit, and it's still green and looks like it's got some buds starting to pop right there. So I put grafting wax on the end to keep it from getting contaminated, and we'll see how that goes. So over here, this is an apple tree graft, and this is Anna apple, and these are definitely taken. So that graft is successful, and I saw some buds popping out on here like this one. I just knocked those off so that they don't compete with this graft. We'll see how this one goes. This should start showing some signs of bud popping pretty soon. It looks like that one on the top is. But yeah, this is my Bosque pear, and that's of course my apple graft there and there. A Sharon apple on the top that I got from my friend Sharon in the OC, and this is Fuji apple I got from Andy's tree in the OC. So this one's got buds and growth on it, so I know that the grafts have taken. They're solid grafts, and we'll see what I get out of those this year. They probably won't produce fruit because they're too young yet, but at least if I can get some flowers and leaves growing on them, next year will be a really good year for this pear tree. And that's coming off of the rootstock. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to let it grow and check it out. And then if it's nothing that I really need, then I can cut it off down low here and graft in another apple or another pear or something to that effect and get this tree going. And I also fixed a failed graft cut there in the tree with more grafting wax, and another one up here. So my apricot here is definitely showing signs of coming awake for the springtime. My cabbage is doing really well. Of course, I won't have a head of cabbage out of this for Thursday, which is St. Patrick's Day. But I did pick up a corned beef brisket today at the store for $7. And I picked up a head of cabbage for 80 cents. So that'll get me past Thursday. Gotta have that corned beef and cabbage. Of course, I forgot to pick up a bag of small red potatoes to go in with that also, and a package of carrots, because my carrots aren't ready yet. I'm amazed my carrots haven't sprouted here yet. I've got a few rows of carrots running down here, but nothing has sprouted yet. But the fava beans are really coming up quick now. So it won't be long, and those will be showing their triumph like that one over there. So cool. Broccoli flowers, a bunch coming out, new ones. And that broccoli the other night with my chicken with broccoli and carrots, I did it as a stew. Totally fantastically good. Oh my God. I cleaned the plate twice. Anyway, that's all I got, everybody. Thanks for joining me. This is G Bear reminding you to plant your garden. It's springtime. Get everything going. You betcha. Those are my seeds over there. Those are getting ready to sprout, and I got my tomatoes inside that are gonna get a little bit bigger, and then I'll take them out a couple hours each day and acclimate them to the outdoors and get those down here and get them planted in the ground and so forth. So yep, gonna be another good growing year. This is G Bear reminding you, thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and signing off.